Well, what color's your Bugatti?
It's hard to look anywhere these days without being confronted by a picture, video, or audio of Andrew Tate, and whether you like the guy or hate him, you can't deny the fact that he's rich and famous, and he won't even let anyone on the internet forget it. Just ask Greta Thunberg. But where does that money come from? And how did the son of an immigrant chess player become one of the richest people in the world, even if it's only by his own estimates? Well, with no sugarcoating and no image washing, here's the total truth of how he got to the point where he is today. I don't mean jail, but the financial success he had managed to amass throughout his life. Early life and image. Andrew Tate was born to a father who was an international chess master, while his mother was a catering assistant. His family relocated from Chicago, Illinois, in the United States, to Luton, England, when he was 10 years old, and that's where he spent his formative years. Tate claims that he was broke for a long time before making his first $1 million at the age of 27, before progressing to making $100 million by the age of 31. Of course, he's worth far more now, although there's some confusion about how his current net worth is. Andrew Tate's actual net worth, according to conservative estimates, is around $100 million, while more generous estimates have put his net worth to be about $250 to $710 million. According to Andrew himself, however, he thinks it's difficult to put a value to his net worth and how much his companies would be worth when liquidated, but he believes they could easily be worth $300 to $350 million. But that's just his company. With other assets, such as his houses, cars, and other luxury items, his actual net worth could certainly be well over that. Early career as a kickboxer. Tate wasn't born with all that cheddar in his pockets though, and he literally fought his way into wealth. He was a professional kickboxer for years, and he even allegedly won 4 world championships and attained the top spot in the cruiserweight rankings in Europe. Despite his acclaimed victories in kickboxing, he said he rarely made any serious money from it, and has claimed that he was actually broke during that time. On one of the several podcasts he's been on, he mentioned that kickboxing did not make him rich. Despite becoming a 4-time world champion, according to him, the most money he ever received for a bout was about $100,000. The one thing that he was able to get out of his kickboxing career was fame, or at least the beginning of it, and he was able to use some of his notoriety at the time to enter the Big Brother competition. However, he was eliminated a few weeks into the final round after a video of him assaulting a woman with a belt was made public. Now in a quest for fresh chances, he and his younger brother Tristan founded the webcam business MyFreeCams, which was largely successful and which Andrew claims earned him his first significant financial windfall. Webcam business. Tate says this idea came to him after he saw an ad for a similar webcam service on a site he visited and got the idea to start up his own webcam because he knew a bunch of girls who needed money. In Tate's webcam scheme, the majority of the male viewers paid an hourly subscription to utilize the site and speak to the models on the webcams, who were in fact Andrew's girlfriends as well as other models. The majority of the website's income, however, came from the tipping feature, which let customers lavishly compensate models who frequently claimed to be in financial need. To convince naive, desperate men to part with their money, the models were set up to give them fabricated sob stories. This was despite the Tate brothers knowing that the majority of the claims ultimately were entirely or partially made up to entice the customers to be loose with their money. According to Andrew Tate, MyFreeCams generated almost $600,000 in revenue for the Tate brothers at their peak, when 75 active models were working for the website. This has never been proven or fact-checked, but it is the story that he sticks to. The company preyed on mainly guys who ought to have known better than to hand over their hard-earned money to complete strangers in exchange for little more than poorly crafted lies and attractive women. Some women even told men they wanted to meet them while pretending to have significant student loan debt, a family member who required private healthcare, or a desire to move to the United Kingdom. Controversies around his means of income. Many people have publicly accused both Andrew and Tristan Tate of running a website that purposefully spread false information to prey on the trust of its users, but they repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. In an interview with the Daily Mirror, Tristan Tate said that it was not necessary for a model's statements about having a sick grandmother or pet to be real, although it was all a scam to collect their money, and some of their customers genuinely thought they might be in a real relationship with the women they saw on their computer screens. The brothers claim that all they did was build the website following industry standards, and that users who became dependent on it and mistreated it should take responsibility for their own actions that cost them money, since it was users who requested private shows and sent tips voluntarily while being fully aware of the risks. They claim that clauses in the terms and conditions of MyFreeCams and similar websites shield them from any liability and keep them out of the reach of law enforcement. The most pertinent detail in the website's terms was that the webcam broadcasting is exclusively for amusement purposes, which means that anything spoken during the virtual calls could be as far from the truth as possible and would still be regarded as entertainment. Any payment made to models, according to another clause, is a voluntary expression of thanks for the time spent broadcasting. This means that all tips and presents, big or small, are considered to be earnings from the broadcast, rather than the direct outcome of any information presented to the customers to get money. Andrew Tate asserts that the patrons' willingness to part with their money was mostly motivated by their lust for the models and perceptions that they had forged deep connections with them. Additionally, they discovered that customers were willing to pay more for models they thought they could have a chance to meet in person. The Tate brothers argued that because the men were instructed to tip at their own risk and were aware of the risks, they could not be charged with any crimes, and that the program was solely intended for entertainment. Besides the webcam business, Andrew and his brother also opened up a casino in Romania when he was in his early 30s, and it turned out to be a huge hit. According to credible sources, he's got more than a dozen casinos that bring in over $500,000 in profit each month. In his words, his casino biz is one of his most money-making businesses. However, the webcam business history's dark past continued to haunt the brothers, and the fruits of their misgivings seem to have caught up with them because they were recently arrested in their home country Romania last December. The police accused the brothers of human trafficking and other charges, but are yet to bring evidence of all this to light. Thus, according to Andrew Tate's supporters, his arrest may have been prearranged by the Matrix. They believe that this group is a worldwide coalition of mainstream media and politicians who aim to silence and manipulate Tate, thereby exercising control over him. During the investigation, the police also took away Andrew's collection of cars, which sources report to be worth around $6.6 million, including a blue Rolls-Royce worth an estimated £310,000, a McLaren 765 LT valued up to £410,000, and the Bugatti Chiron worth $2.9 million that Tate used to taunt Greta Thunberg. Although other sources claim the Bugatti's value to be up to $5.8 million, its real value is around $3 million, and the extra cost Andrew incurred was due to insurance, transportation to fly the car to Dubai and Europe, registration fees, and taxes. Other endeavors. The height of Andrew's webcam site's success also led him to expand his online presence, particularly on social media. He pitched himself as a self-help guru who was interested in releasing males from the constraints of society's matrix and women who didn't know their place and tried to dominate men. He has over 11 billion TikTok views alone, and by June 2022, he had more Google searches than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian combined. Leveraging further on his popularity, he also launched a controversial Hustlers University on Discord, which charges between $50 and $100 per participant. On the outside, it claims to be an empowering platform for men, but on closer inspection, looks more like a multi-level marketing scheme designed to enrich Andrew and others at the helm of its affairs. Despite this, Hustler University continues to rage on with new members supposedly signing up daily, and it continues to be Tate's largest money spinner, supposedly making him even more money than the webcam scam that got him his first million. So what do you think about Andrew Tate's first million? Was MyFreeCams really morally bankrupt, or was Tate just doing the best he could with the hand he was dealt? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.